All right, welcome to this explainer. If you're joining us today, it probably means you're looking for a serious tactical edge in how you approach high-level prospects. Today, we're breaking down a highly strategic module centered entirely on one absolutely vital objective: capturing the VIP prospect database. Now, when we talk about VIPs here, we aren't just talking about mid-level managers with a budget. No, we are talking about the untouchables, the Fortune 500 CEOs, the high-net-worth decision-makers, and those individuals who are shielded by literal layers of gatekeepers. We're going to strip away all the fluff and focus purely on the deep intelligence gathering required to actually reach and succeed at the absolute highest levels of business.
So let's dive right into this incredibly powerful framing directly from the module: creating the weapon before war. Just let that sink in for a second, right? We're setting up a premise here where data collection isn't just some boring administrative task you hand off to an intern. Instead, intelligence gathering is framed as forging a critical strategic asset. You are preparing for the market, and you definitely don't want to walk into a high-stakes meeting empty-handed. Your data is literally your ammunition. But what does that ammunition actually look like? Well, it's not just knowing an email address. It's knowing a CEO's favorite philanthropic charity, understanding the recent strategic decisions their board just made, or intimately knowing their current industry pain points. Here's our quick roadmap for today. We're going to walk through the exact steps to build your strategic intelligence, starting with the weapon before war, moving into understanding CEOs and VIPs, capturing the database, identifying your top 100 prospects, and finally, VIP consumer behavior research.
Let's start right off with part 1, the weapon before war.
Before we take any action at all, we really have to establish what this weapon actually is. The module calls it the Management Information System. Now, let's just strip away the corporate jargon for a second. Think of this as an ultra-detailed, living, breathing digital dossier. It's way more than just a Rolodex or a basic spreadsheet. It's a dynamic mechanism used to organize and leverage incredibly specific intelligence long before you ever try to engage a target. If you don't have this system in place, honestly, you aren't gathering actionable intelligence, you're really just hoarding random facts. This system is the actual engine that transforms raw, scattered data into a highly deployable strategic asset.
Moving on to part 2, understanding CEOs and VIPs.
The curriculum emphasizes a pretty crucial shift in mindset here. You absolutely must understand the distinct nature of CEOs and VIPs before you take a single step toward them. You simply cannot treat a VIP the way you treat an everyday standard prospect. A standard cold calling script? A generic email blast? That's going to fail instantly. Why? Because you can't just pick up the phone and call a Fortune 500 CEO. You have to bypass a formidable wall of executive assistants and gatekeepers whose entire job is to protect their boss's time. Their pressures are completely different, and their schedules are ruthless. If your digital dossier doesn't account for this unique psychological and professional reality, your approach is going to misfire before it even begins.
Which brings us to section 3, capturing the database. All right, here's where we transition from the theory into the actionable tactics. The module stresses that you have to learn and deploy specific methodologies to actively capture this database. You aren't just sitting around waiting for these high net worth individuals to come to you, because frankly, they won't. You have to go on the offensive. And what does that mean? It means leveraging exclusive alumni networks to find hidden connections. It means scraping specialized PR databases to see exactly what causes they publicly support, or tracking philanthropic board memberships to figure out where they're spending their personal time. You use these highly specific targeted methods to actively pull high-value raw materials right into your dossier.
Next up, part 4, identifying your top 100 prospects.
All of that intense data capture we just talked about brings us to a very specific, non-negotiable number: 100. The module explicitly states that participants are expected to synthesize all their captured data to identify their exact top 100 prospects before the end of the process. You might be wondering, why exactly 100? Well, because there's a very real cognitive and practical limit to how many high-level complex relationships you can actually manage at once. If you have 101 or 200 names, you're going to start diluting your focus. Distilling your intelligence down to a highly targeted, highly potent list of exactly 100 distinct VIPs is for sure the hardest part of the process, but it forces complete, undivided focus on the individuals that matter most.
And finally, section 5, VIP consumer behavior research.
Okay, so you have your precise golden list of 100. Now what? We have to pause and ask ourselves a really fundamental question here. What actually drives the consumer behavior of these top VIPs? Just having their names on a meticulously filtered list isn't going to seal the deal. We need to know what's driving their ultimate decisions.
because building the database is absolutely not the finish line. The source material mandates rigorous, detailed research to truly understand the consumer behavior of your VIPs. What does that actually look like at this level? It means figuring out if a specific CEO buys based on company ROI, a desire for a personal legacy, strict risk mitigation, or, maybe it's simply ego. You have to know how they buy, why they buy, and what influences their purchasing psychology on a deeply human level. Your dossier has to be populated with this specific behavioral intelligence if you ever want to effectively engage anyone on that exclusive list.
So as we summarize what we've covered in this explainer today, you can really see the deliberate, tactical blueprint for building your strategic intelligence. Step 1, understand the unique, highly guarded nature of the VIP. Step 2, deploy active methods like alumni networking to capture the database. Step 3, relentlessly filter that data down to your top 100 prospects to maintain absolute focus. And Step 4, conduct deep behavioral research. If you follow this rigorous blueprint, you aren't just selling to these people anymore, you are aligning with their specific worldview.
Which leaves us with this final thought. This module gives you the framework to prepare the intelligence. It guides you to build that ultimate digital dossier and isolate your highly targeted top 100 list, so you have the ultimate dossier on the 100 most important people in your industry. The question is, once you've forged this weapon, how will you wage your war?